For over a century, this region in specific has been America's crossroads for roads, rails, and runways, and where they all converge. And the truth is, it is a fundamental economic strength for the region and a job creator for the region. And for over the last 28 years, we have not been investing in that strength, and it's beginning to show the wear and tear. And Chicago and the greater metro Chicago area is losing some of the jobs and economic opportunity would come if you had a 21st century transportation system to back up a 21st century economy. We are facing now, I think, a historic moment, and I stand with a group of bipartisan mayors on behalf of a new transportation bill that should happen in Springfield. Our state can't wait any longer.
I'm Joe Szabo, Executive Director of the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, CMAP. We represent the 285 communities in the 7 counties, 8.5 million people in northeastern Illinois. And I'm pleased to stand here today with several of our region's mayors, as well as some transportation leaders, Mary Sue Barrett from the Metropolitan Planning Council, and Jim Derwinski, the Executive Director of Metra, standing here together in making this important call for new transportation revenues. This has to be about achieving a permanent fix to our chronic transportation funding shortages. We're at a crisis point, and the worst thing that we could do now is to settle for a short-term solution that'll put us back in the same situation 5 or 10 years from now. And so we really owe it to the public to not only do this, but to do it right. My agency, CMAP, just released our comprehensive long-range plan for the region, called On to 2050. And it really is a plan about how our region achieves prosperity together. And in doing that, we're required to research the transportation funding needs. And our research tells us that we face a $24 billion deficit to simply maintain and operate the inadequate system that we have today in the condition that it's in today, and project that it's going to take us another $32 billion to achieve a true state of good repair and to make some modest enhancements in the system. Mayor Emanuel talked about how transportation has been our historic strategic asset in this region. It's been our key advantage, but other states are now far ahead of Illinois when it comes to investing in their transportation system. And so we have to seize this moment in order to stay competitive. And so to the criteria that the mayors have all talked about, CMAP agrees with these criteria. You know, first, whatever we do, it has to be sustainable. And this means that we not only need to increase the gas tax, but we have to index it to inflation, and we have to include other sources of revenues that, you know, not only are indexed to inflation, make sure that we keep pace with our rising costs. Second, whatever is done, it has to be fair. And we believe that the costs need to be paid by those that are actually using and consuming and deriving the most benefit from the system. And third, it has to be flexible, it has to be multimodal. Funding solutions must adapt to constantly changing technology and users and different needs. And we have to ensure that we're investing in the very best projects, regardless of transportation modes. And so for us to thrive as a region, we have to be able to plan for this future and maintain our key transportation advantage, and this is going to require a steady and secure stream of revenues. The prosperity of this region depends upon it. With that, Mayor?
Thank you.